crappy. Crappy. It's that time. How about you take us over to the game reveal? Let's do this. The loser's final time warp. The players are given a game or a few games. Guess what? They're short for normal Kusogrand8, but they're not short for this. They may be playing several different short games, or they may be playing one short game over and over again. Either way, it's not your typical fare, but we decided to twist it a little bit for our loser's final. So get ready for repetition possibly, or for some stuff that's gonna fly by, and say hello to the GM for this match. omeganumber, come on in. Let's chat a little bit. omeganumber, omeganumber, where are you? Am I gonna have to go yell? I'm gonna have to go yell at omeganumber. That's okay. Hello, omeganumber. I was just about to yell at you.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going excellent. It's going to go even more excellent after we see what this game's going to be. I'm so excited for this one.
Well, good. You know, I know one thing about this game, and that I know what it's based off of. That's all. Literally none of the other words in the title made sense to me, but one word, no, like, kind of. So what, can you say what the game title is, please?
Graeme Souness Vector Soccer.
Yeah, that's right. Soccer. There we go. We've got Graeme something soccer for Amiga. Look at these beautiful colors. Well, that's probably more colors than the players are going to have in their game, because they've got 1 full hour to try to make as much progress as they can. Whoever does will take the victory and move on to the grand final. 3 matches to determine our champion for this year. The loser taking 4th place in this tournament, which is not bad at all. Or is it 3rd place? Third place, yeah. They'll take 3rd.
Yes.
Oh my god, creepy music. Okay.
So for a little context here, the last 5 or 6 games maybe I've given out, I would consider sort of nice, quote, nice picks for Kusogrand8. I mean, 4 of them were for the but why category, which is specifically for like weird but not horrible.
Yes.
And I think even the Disney one that I gave out was, I mean, it had the world's longest iframes, but it was still actually pretty competent.
Which Disney game was that?
That was Space Baby.
Oh,
Firmament Baby.
Right. The Disney, the Disney Lilo and Stitch game. Right. They didn't
I wanted
make
to
one.
Go out with a bang. And I also knew that this was the bracket reset match. I mean, once they get Pi here, they are going to have their sins cleansed, because they get best 2 out of 3 with no advantage to the winners bracket. So it's, you know, they're back to being winners if they can beat this. So they needed to go through the fire and brimstone. This game is from the depths of hell.
I'm so excited.
It is so incredibly bad. This is the worst sports game I know. It is literally the worst I have seen in sports.
Honestly,
in particular.
That's saying a lot, because I have seen boxing for Atari 2600. I've played boxing for Atari 2600. I've played Muscle on NES. I kind of love Muscle. There are a lot of bad sports games out there, but having the honor to be the worst that omeganumber has played, that's a pretty amazing thing. Let me go ahead and see if I can turn the audio on. No audio here. Figures. That's fine. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I've gone into some weird sub genres of sports games, and you know, like things like Odyssey 2 sports games or that kind of thing. This is something else. This is, yeah.
Well, we've got 2 legends, 2 Kusogrand8 legends here, OkamiOfGames and Someone3255. Of course, both of them have done extremely well. You know, the winner will be going to the grand finals. Both of them have just been like fantastic people and fantastic friends. So I'm gonna check to see if they are ready to begin. And if not, that's fine. They can go and get a liquid, a fuel, whatever they need. Oh my god. I've got music from the musical Cats stuck in my head. Jellicoe Cats, it's been in my head for days at this point. Okay, it looks like the players are ready, so we're gonna do the countdown. Best of luck to the players. Chat, I need you to spam all of your best soccer or other sports emotes. Please spam away. Actually, let me ask, is there supposed to be sound on this screen?
No.
No?
No. There's going to be sound in the game.
We're doing the countdown then. Yes,
yeah,
best of luck. Go, players, go. Do the soccer. Beat game. Okay, as soon as I see movement, I'll consider that movement, sure.
So to clarify, this is not the grand final. This is the game leading to the grand final.
This is the losers final, yes.
Right. It's a little different than other losers final because it does come with a bracket reset. So they will be as if they were through the winners when they get to the grand final. It is 2 out of 3. There is no pre-given points or anything like that for the grand final. So welcome to, Vector Soccer.
Okay.
Beautiful graphics, as you can see.
They certainly are graphics that were made for the Amiga, I suppose. This is rendering. I love the applause, by the way. And how the applause resets every time the ball bounces on the ground. I think
There's
it's applause.
so many good touches. There's so many good touches in this game. By good, I mean, what were they thinking kind of touches? But, so to clarify the format here, they're playing single-player game, which should be set at 3 minutes per half, and so these are going to be 6 minutes games. And their goal is to get best point difference. So it doesn't matter if the other team scores. Hopefully by the time they get actually the hang of this, that's not going to happen. It's going to be them scoring, but I did want to account for that just in case. There's a couple rules exceptions other than that, but I think that's enough to say for now. They're just trying to get the best point difference, and they are allowed to reset if they want to at any point the match if they don't feel like it's going well. But right now they're still trying to figure out how to make a goal, so that's not going to happen. And they can place their players. They have a strategic moment at the start of the first half and the start of the second half, where they are able to put players and see if it helps. I did give them the manual, but one thing I did not point out to them specifically is they can change their camera angle. There is buttons, there's function buttons will let you actually change your camera angle.
Okay. I mean, it looks like one of our players has scored a goal, so that is already hopeful. That doesn't matter too much until the end of the match when we get to see the score difference between the player and the opponent. But simply put, there are a few different ways that we're breaking ties. If for some reason, like, one player has 5 goals versus the computer having 3, and the other player has 2 goals as opposed to the computer having 0, the person who got the higher score, 5 versus 3, would be the winner, just because it's a higher score. If they both happen to score exactly the same against the computer and have the same score difference at the end, then it will end up being whoever did it first. But yeah, the biggest thing, you just want to make sure that you're doing better than the computer earlier on, and then you can worry about possibly scoring a whole bunch of goals. Although scoring 1 goal is probably the most... No, we might see more than that before the first match is over. I don't know. You
will see. We'll see. So there we go. That's the draw. That's it. We're going on. That we have to play again. So yeah, it's actually, I guess its default is two minutes per match. So
it looks like a minute and a half.
Yeah, it goes real fast. I mean, I didn't want to mess with the settings just in case something happened, and it was like, this is time warp.
You know, the fun thing about how you said that it goes really fast is that it's a minute and a half that lasts about 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right. So we do have, someone did score 1-0, so someone is in the lead. If that ends up being like the best Okami does is 1-0, and that's kind of how we stick in the rest of the game, then someone wins because it matters who gets it first.
Yep.
So,
by the way,
that's how we're going.
I do want to thank our referees for helping to track this match. They're super serious, trying to make sure that they do get the different scores in here. So the referees that we have this match are Blastinus, who appears to be editing right now. I'll read it if you happen to. We've got Not Electa, Taven, Linkura. Never mind, everybody's editing their own names. We'll find out who our referees actually are in just a second. Oh, Vector Not Electa. Okay, that's good. That's good. Scary. So many angles there. You know, I thought that I saw somebody score a goal on Okami's screen, but the score didn't go up at all.
No, there was. I didn't see one go up in on the screen, so no. It may have just missed. I mean, you can try to do a score and goal but miss. I was watching someone's screen, so I'm not actually sure.
Huh.
So Okami is not messing at all with the strategic layer to this, which actually might be a mistake. I do think it helps to mess with your configuration, like someone's doing. But there's still a lot of time, and they're in a time warp. I mean, every single one's going to be short, and so they have time to figure this out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the other referees that we have are Blastinus remembers when the Amiga had good-looking games, and also Linkura has triangles for legs. Oh, no. You know, it's the strongest shape per some people. So, you know, maybe triangle legs would be great. Roundhouse kick from a triangle. You never want that to happen. Your head goes flying off immediately. Oh, it was probably just goal kick, or something like that popped up, not a goal. Yeah, so which team are they playing as?
They're playing blue.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why blue is all packed up against the line right there. Yeah, blue is there's a little quote shadow underneath the currently controlled player. You kind of see the little blue circle underneath, right? That's who's being controlled by the player. The enemy AI, other team AI is not that great, which is why I said that by the time they get the hang of this, I really anticipate the scores to be more along the lines of like 3-0, 4-0 by the end. I'm not really, but I didn't want to just ignore the fact that you're supposed to defend against the opponent, and occasionally, so there's this, if you look at MARP right now, meme action replay page, do you know that page?
Which page?
Meme action replay. It's a score records page for meme games.
I guess I haven't really looked at it. No.
So if you look at the number one for Arch Rivals, which is a basketball game, I have the number one score on there, and I've had it for like 10 years.
Okay.
And originally we had points, and then we changed it to point difference. And the reason why is there was strategy where you actually wanted to let the opponent score because it was faster. And again, you get in a situation where the ball is close to your side, you almost want to score into your own goal. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if you do this in this game, actually, to be honest. But you want to kind of score into your own goal somehow so that it gets moved to the middle faster. And then otherwise you're struggling on your side, and it makes it So I didn't want to have that situation. I want to make sure that you were discouraged from trying to do own goals. So we got another 1-0.
But
Someone does have the hang.
I like the metagame. Come on, just make scores for both yourself and the team. That's the fun part. Okay, yeah, that is a little bit of an obstacle from what you would expect for a game. Yeah, usually scoring on yourself is not good, but there's something that brings about joy of like playing a game not the way it's intended, just to demolish it. But there's also value in whatever, 2 different categories is what I'm saying. 2 different categories, Omega Number, and I can appreciate both of them.
I gotcha. Okami still has not messed with the teammate positioning, so we'll see how this goes. It's definitely better to have everybody pile in on offense on this. The scores are not going to be high, though. I mean, we're going to get up to, I think, like 3-0, so there's still time to get this figured out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yes, 1-0. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm not. I mean, really, I should be doing this with a Scottish accent. So Graeme Souness is a Scottish player, and he's still around. He's still like he was on a news thing like last week, talking about somebody being miserable at soccer or something, except football. Right. I'm just being very American about all this. Right. So it's not like he's still around. He's still doing stuff. He was a pretty famous footballer and then owner and then pundit. So he would, do commentary for stuff. And now he still, complains about teams doing things on media. And so he's still around. But yeah, since he's Scottish, I guess I should be doing this like, we're announcing a Scottish game. I don't know. Can you do
get ready to offend everybody. Let everyone buckle up. We might hear an Omega Number accent.
I'm from Tucson, right? I could do the Mexican one. I mean, I've watched a lot of Mexican football, right? The guy who does goal, that's I could do that. That's what I've not watched any of the British or Scottish stuff, right? I don't
you've
actually
also
know
got
what it
the
sounds like.
Ronaldinho Mondial. Yeah, it's a classic,
So very interesting maneuvering there. From it looks like the ball was getting kind of kicked on someone's side to the goal, kind of direct to the goalie, so it would get back out faster. Is almost what it looked like. I don't know. I keep trying to see if there's like patterns in the AI or if it's just kind of wandering confused. And the problem is just trying to control this thing. Everything controls like mud, by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet. And you can't actually switch who you're moving. So it is artificial intelligence controlled which player you happen to be controlling at any moment. And it sometimes is not the good player that you would expect always to be the closest player, but it's not always. And yeah, it's certainly, possible to it took me a while to make a goal, but I eventually did it. And so it is possible to figure out this game. And it is possible to make more goals once you get it figured out. But it is so miserable to get there. And I watched a couple people do feedback, and there's like some guy who has like an extremely thick European accent with like, "This is the worst football game ever." It's just it's just clearly in that zone where they're all kind of ashamed of it existing.
Windrider Shiva, thanks for resubscribing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was thinking Eurovision too a little bit. I knew that was going to be this weekend. Everyone's going to have Euro stuff on their minds, so I was like, let's pick a Euro game.
Luckily, I'm looking at the manual here, and it does have a little bit of hype material at the beginning. There's no story. Guess what? It's a sports game. But we've got Graeme Souness Vector Soccer is an incredibly realistic simulation of modern-day football, played to full international soccer rules. All the rules like you've got 1.5 minutes to try to kick a sphere past all the polygons. All the players are drawn as filled polygons and are manipulated by fast vector calculations along with all of the pitch and surrounding details. Like the audience? No, you didn't get that. Experimentation with levels of match details and the 7 camera angles allows the game to be played at a speed and presentation quality which suits the individual player. Well, good. I'm glad that this is an incredibly realistic simulation. Has anybody here been to a soccer or a football game? Because if not, it's just like this.
Okay, hold on just a moment. I gotta do my thing. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Okami scored a goal.
Yeah.
Hey, Corndan, thanks for resubscribing. I hope that you're having as much fun as we aren't.
Corndan did this, so he experienced this one. It's yeah. You're welcome to jump in chat if you want to. If you want to tell us how you feel, Corndan, feel free.
By the way, per the manual, this game allows up to 8 players to compete at once. The original competing teams are England, Scotland, France, Italy, Germany, Cameroon, and USSR. That's right. They didn't even put the US in there. The ball indicator can then be moved between teams by moving the joystick up and down. Okay, initially all opponents are computer controlled. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Okay, so yeah. This game, as it turns out, is a little old. We've got the USSR in it, we've got polygons in it, we've got everything that made life exciting. Oh, and apparently, per YouTube, the Graeme Souness actually turned 72 in May this month. So, you know, it's good to know that he's still rocking. You know, maybe grew a few more polygons since this game. I don't know how his life is, but at least he's a little more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game came out the same time, I think, as Gimbarde Gorky. So, yeah, it would still be USSR, but it would be barely USSR.
Yeah, for those who weren't here / don't remember / know a normal amount of games, the game that we're talking about basically was a game where you played as Gorbachev, and you had to go and work, like, help the factory so that the people could get everything that they needed. And yeah, I love that game. That game is amazing. Sure, it has Gorbachev, but it's kind of amazing. And actually, yeah, we learned a lot about history because Americans know basically nothing about Gorbachev. It's true, we didn't learn.
Yeah, Okami got really quick goal in there. That was he actually kind of strategized, I think, to get the same kind of goal he got the first time, which was an over-the-head kick. So we'll see if he's maybe got a pattern going on this. But I do expect them to, get more than one. I don't expect really high scores because it's short, but.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't expect too much. Oh my god. Sorry, I just saw that this company that made the game also made a game called Neighbours, which was an Australian soap opera. What oddly specific things to do. We've got Graeme Souness, Vector Soccer, we've got Australian soap operas. Round the Bend? What is this game, Round the Bend? They've got Ed the Duck. I think that's a little bit less surprising. Kids TV show Round the Bend was set in a fictitious comic factory. Okay, so very random licenses that I haven't heard about.
We have had Neighbours on Kusogrand8.
I believe so, yes.
It was abysmal, and nobody got past the first level. I think we actually had to tube in it or something because I think it was too hard to tell who won. Yeah, it was miserable. Nobody could get past level 1. There's also a Neighbours adventure game. 2, which
Yeah.
we have not had. One of these days, I will try to put on some kind of super offbeat adventure game like that. But I've got my fill of adventure games on this channel already. I think so we're good. One of these days, maybe we'll get to play Australian soap opera game. I don't know. There's all sorts of weird.
Yeah, so, it looks like the programmer for this game didn't work on a whole lot of things, but one of the artists did. In fact, worked on other games like Shadow Man for PlayStation, Batman Forever, one of the artists for the PlayStation version of that. Yeah, Frankenstein for Commodore 64. That sounds horrifying, I gotta be honest. Forsaken Remastered, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. But I'm relatively sure that Batman Forever wasn't the most beautiful game. Maybe it was. PS1, Batman.
By
it
the
was
way,
fine.
Goal! There you go.
Okami moving up to 2 points against 0. Now, as long as Okami doesn't let the computer score in the next 10 seconds, which is closer to 40 seconds, then Okami will move into the lead for this match. But again, we're looking at the point difference, 2-0. The CPU scoring, if it can manage to kick all the way from here and get a goal, then that would nullify the extra point, but nope. Time for Sad Man to squat. That is Okami moving into the lead against someone. What? This is one of the worst things I think we've had on this channel. This is bad.
I told you.
I'm neither... the audio bugs me. It's so... The frame rate. It's so the frame rate.
Yeah, everything is amazing. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this game happened, but yeah, I gave a bunch of nice games, right? I had to compensate for that and get one of the worst ever. This is so incredibly bad. We don't even have a lot of sports games on Kusogrand8. I gave a golf. I'm not even sure if golf counts. Team sports games. Basketball? I know we've done that. What other ones have we had?
We had Aussie Rules Footy. I believe we had that as a gauntlet state. We've had some hockey. We've had... there are multiple sports in Urban Yeti, so you've got that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had some... The Flintstones SMS, that has bowling in it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've had sports games.
We've had sports as part of games, and then the Aussie Rules one, yeah, that works. But this is just so this has to stand on its own. There's just nothing else this goes with.
I love this. This is amazing. And by love, I mean I never want to see it again, but I love that it exists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, yes, they are allowed to restart. It just, if they get a point and they restart, it doesn't count that point. They actually have to get to that screen where it has the squatting dude for that to count under the ref rules. But, yeah, at this point, yeah, it's certainly wise if you got a bad start to just start to try to optimize now and try to get a goal really fast. I think if you're trying to get up to 3-0 now, it's going to take a fast goal.
Whee! I do appreciate someone in YouTube calling this MS Paint Football, but without the T. And at first I was like, MS Paint Football? What does that mean? But no, they mean MS Paint Football. But I want to imagine it's football. MS Paint Football, everybody, let's go! That's what we've got here.
So, what was I going to say?
Someone got a goal.
This game is just, so, I know this game just flabbergasted me. I'm sorry. It just drains my brain out even watching it for too long.
And yet somehow it's more exciting than most soccer games that I've seen.
Well, it's packed into a very compact time period. I mean, you determine who wins or loses in just a couple minutes.
I actually really have enjoyed watching soccer. I went to a Brazilian soccer game one time when I was in Rio, and let me tell you, I have never, heard an audience that was that into what was going on. But, people were shouting and playing music in the stands the entire time. The entire time people were yelling, and I have no idea how. I can do that, sure, when something exciting is happening, but for 2 or 3 hours straight, how do you do it? The soccer fans in Brazil are they are dedicated. And then, got on the train in order to head back to wherever we were, and everybody on the train was singing the different songs for that team, because that team had multiple songs throughout the history. Hey, Okami has another goal. It looks like someone is done with this playthrough. Still only a score of 1-0. Yeah, getting past that single goal is really a wall here. Okami's managed to do it once. We'll have to see if she can do it again.
Yeah, she did the same type of goal both times too. It was a kind of a chip over the head of the goalie when it was close. And the first one was really soon in too. It was something like 30 seconds or something in the match, and then the second one was kind of relatively late. So, I mean, I know 3-0 is possible and 4-0 is possible. I don't know if they're going to be able to push any farther, but I mean, this is still pretty exciting because this can change any time. I mean, it's...
Now, I did see it's Plasmagun over in YouTube saying that most impressive thing about the game is the shadow underneath the ball. And let me tell you about that shadow. It doesn't move. The shadow stays in the exact same place the entire time, okay? It's the one part of the playing field that never moves once the ball is going, okay? The shadow is always there. Always, always, always. Although occasionally it looks like it gets stretched out horizontally a little bit. Sometimes you'll see a weird beam of darkness coming from it. That's the ball's surprise shadow. Actually, yeah, I just see streaks of light all over the field for some reason. Can anyone confirm, is this what happens in soccer? Are there laser battles happening too?
That's the crowd. Oh, you can actually turn. So there's
the crowd.
Settings you can turn off. This is not. This is actually the full graphical effects that you're looking at right now. This is with everything on.
The crowds are lasers. Throw in. Oh, I like that voice. Yeah, I would say that maybe turning off a few of the graphical effects might help, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. I don't imagine lines cause as much lag as the polygons here.
I tried it. I mean, even if it was a little better, I probably would have let it be just because, A, Kuso, and B, I didn't want to have them mess with settings and accidentally have one of them be slightly different and then, some sort of crisis. But, it did not affect things at all. The thing that does affect things, this is the worst version. There's actually two versions of this. There's a Atari ST version and there's an Amiga version. The Atari ST version actually moves a little bit better. Not much. It's still horrible. but it does actually move a little bit smoother than the Amiga version does. So that's a win for the Atari ST owners, I guess.
I mean, that's what we had. We had an Atari ST. Atari ST's great.
Good. Yeah, you got the better machine. You had the superior machine to those darn Amiga owners. Is this game?
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't have this game, but we could have. If it ran on the hard drive, or was it Atari ST? Atari 800 XL is what we had, which I think a lot of the stuff is whatever. I don't know. Atari's weird. It was a home computer Atari. There you go. It had a keyboard and everything. You could type a letter to your mom and then never send it because it didn't have email, as far as I know.
Oh my goodness! Someone's getting really close to a second one, but it's not gonna pull it off.
I do see a Commodore 64 version of this game, though, and that looks like a soccer game. That looks so much better than this. Okay, when the Commodore 64 version looks much like incredibly superior. I won't even say it looks like a great soccer game, but let me show you, everybody. It's 100% superior. Look at this. You can see them. They look like people. That would probably have a frame rate. The thing, like, that's one thing. When you're working on something that has limitations, working for those limitations is often helpful. I think this is possibly a fascinating tech demo. I mean, you've got AI with the computer trying to play soccer and not really doing fantastic here. You've got polygons and a 3D area, which wasn't really done often for the Amiga. Like, this game has a lot of ambitious stuff going on. Unfortunately, look at the game, and you can see everything that's wrong with it immediately. Well, okay, I guess you can't see everything wrong with it because apparently the computer sucks.
Yeah, and also they're not doing the bad camera angles. So some of the camera angles are worse. So there's like F1 through F7, I think, change the camera angle. Some of them make it harder to play, which, yeah, you can make it harder to play, believe it or not. It's pretty amazing.
What has life come to? I'm 31 minutes in, and this is what... How old am I? I'm 39 years old, and I'm freaking sitting here on a Sunday watching something that barely has a frame rate and trying to justify why it's kind of ambitious in its own way. No, this game is butts. Holy crap. Like, I've seen a lot more butts that I'm like, I'd rather watch that butt than this game. Maybe not a whole lot of butts. Some butts. I've seen some butts. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. I'll try to. I'll do the positive end. You can be grumpy, okay? When you get down to, like, if you just kind of analyze what's happening at the player level, like if you just describe it in words, okay, there is some interesting player interaction in terms of like them intercepting the ball and kicking it to each other and having different cross patterns and so forth. Like, there is actually something going on to the logic. Somebody somewhere had watched a soccer game when they wrote this.
All of the players look like cards from Alice in Wonderland. You know the guards running around, painted the roses red. We're painting the... That's what everybody looks like. You're just freaking flat playing cards here.
I'm just trying to think if have we had any other games with quite this look. Like, even Alone in the Dark has somewhat more vivid graphics. Like did anyone else
extremely more vivid graphics? You mean Alone in the Dark, the best game possibly ever of all time? Yeah, the graphics were better than this. I will admit, yes.
Yeah, just have we had anywhere like it just literally did this thing with the triangle feet and all that? I've just been trying to. Wait, we got it.
What?
Let's see here.
Triangle feet. This might be something I shouldn't Google, but we're Googling triangle feet. Don't look that up. There's some gross images. Okay, triangle feet in video games.
Someone did manage to squeeze in a goal at the very end. I still think that was a valuable goal to go through, because every time you get one, it kind of gives you an idea of what it's looking for in terms of how you can get the goal.
Yeah, so, and only one attempt matters. Like, the games are happening so quickly that you can, like, whatever chance you have to practice, that's definitely worthwhile. Okami, meanwhile, like, has gotten 2 goals against the computer, and that's the best that we've seen so far. I have seen Okami reset a couple times and go back to the title screen, and that may be helpful when you start feeling that you've got a grasp of the game, but if you do it too soon, you might still not completely understand how the game works. So it can be valuable to play out entire matches to get a feel for, like, what's happening. Nah, I'm sure, honestly, no, even the Demon Rush remaster has better polygons than this. Not much better, but still better. Are there any other games where people had triangles for legs? That's the question. Triangles for legs, rectangle for body, circle for head. That's all we've got. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, even like weirdo itch games, which I played a lot of. And in fact, one of my backups, in case for some crazy reason they knew this was going to be a weirdo itch game. Even weirdo itch games, I don't think had this look that I can think of. Where they intentionally just make things look like deranged somehow. It's just, I don't know. This is a very unique moment in game history right here, what you're seeing.
Oh, sure. I Google, were there any games where people had triangles for legs? And you know what? Of course they have AI pop up at the top, and of course it's wrong. They say, no, there are no known games where people literally have triangles for legs. AI, I've got vivid proof right in front of us. Literally right in front of us. You are lying to me.
AI? Make something up?
And then it's telling me how to choke people, so...
I'm
using a triangle grapple. I'm like, no, I want to know about triangle legs. Stop it.
I have seen so many inaccurate AI things, and things that I didn't want to see, kind of inaccurate AI things, but still, like, I don't see why anybody would ask AI for a question like that. It just, I was doing so. Okay, I was looking up the population of this town, right? It's just a really straight up number. I needed to know what the population of a certain town was in 1980.
Okay.
A weirdo Midwest town. It was like where a game had come from, and I wanted to know how big is this town that it came from. And it had a specific number, like 18,000. And then on the top, Google decided in its AI summary to say the population in 1980 was, and it gave a totally different number. It just, like, why did you do that? Why are you even trying? Because it's just a chart. You don't need to, like, make some, I don't know. And what really scares me is, like, I see people using AI to, like, sort spreadsheets. Like, they'll take all the data and they'll say, okay, make this into a graph. How can I trust that you didn't make up a number along the way to make the graph? Because it seems like that's happening so often. I don't trust it.
Now, I do want to clarify something and get back on track. Just to clarify how the scoring works for this match, what we are doing is the difference between you, the player, and the computer. So Okami, the last game, did indeed score a point, but it was not more than 2 points difference between Okami and the computer. And because of that, the score for Okami did not change. What we're looking for, if Okami manages to get 3-0 or 4-1 or 5-2, that is a big enough score difference that Okami's score for the point difference would change. Yeah.
Right. Part of the deal here also is kind of another, I didn't want, and again, there's sort of the cheesing the game thing. I didn't want them to do the game where they would reset over and over and over in such a way that they would like just run the ball to the goal and then try to get a score, and then if they get it or not, then they reset. Because I think that would actually be the optimal strategy if you were just trying to get as many points as possible in a certain time span in this game. So I wanted them to play through the whole round, and when they were doing it as part of it. But it's a short round, so I didn't feel like it was like really punishing them like doing that or anything. You know, it didn't feel like it was in the spirit of things to have it so that you could literally just score a point 10 seconds in the game and then reset and then try to do it again.
Yeah, gotcha. That you have to play the entire round out. Okami is restarting quite a few times, but I think that she just wants a good start to begin with.
She also is now experimenting with formation. And I'm seeing the copy protection screen on someone's screen. And I incidentally think it's hilarious because the way the copy protection on this works is like you start the game and then 30 seconds pass of you playing, and then the middle of you kicking a ball somewhere, like the copy protection kicks in, and now you have to look up a number. It's great.
Seriously? Oh my gosh. That sounds a little inconvenient.
Just a bit.
Yeah, as long as the computer doesn't still keep getting to play while that pops up. If it freezes the game, it still is not okay, but it's better than you losing 5 goals because you're trying to look up information in order to input the correct thing. This company seems like maybe this game shouldn't have been released. But then again, you know, if you don't have a whole lot of games coming out and you've got a small team and you're needing to get something out so that you can actually make money, you got to get it out. Big question, though, how much were they trying to sell this for?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see. I think one of the pictures actually showed like a little label on the box. You can find one of the boxes. Here, hold on. Oh, by the way, about the reason why it's calling it soccer, they do occasionally use the word soccer in the UK. It's not as... I know people in the US get kind of sometimes try to get reverse snooty about it, but they are actually... They know what the word soccer means, and they are willing to use it sometimes. So it's not actually that weird for them to call it soccer.
It's a little weird for Spanish or Portuguese speaking countries because you call it,
right.
Yeah. Like in Brazil, it's futebol. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the word soccer actually came from the UK. So they were the one that came up with that alternate word, and then that, you know, so that's why it's not like it's... I'm just trying to find one of the boxes, see if it can give me like how much it cost.
Oh, yeah, and you know what, UK? When we use like more of an American accent for stuff happening in the 17 or 1800s, because we just cast Americans. Guess what? American accent is closer to the original England accent, and it's just the pompous aristocrats who are like, let's go ahead and make this fake snooty accent in order to tell the difference between the poor people and the rich people. Ha ha. Yeah, you can blame the UK for a lot of things. Whatever. We were colonies for you. We can make fun of you for a little bit. It's fine. We had a war about that. Yeah, and actually, there is truth being said that there were a lot more accents in the UK, but like the way that Americans speak, maybe not like people from Texas, because that definitely was not. Can you imagine people in Shakespeare's time being like, "I say, I say." To be or not to be? That is the question. Yeah. No,
that's
not how it
closer
was
to
done.
the original. I mean, because
well, that's not close to Shakespearean times.
I seem to remember reading that the closest to Shakespeare accent would be the Southern accent. Like Atlanta or something like that, and they can tell because of the amount of like with certain rhymes will work if you use a Southern accent, but won't make sense anymore if you use some other kind of accent. If I remember right.
I don't know. I studied American English when I was going to school. I didn't do too much British stuff. Sure, I had a Shakespeare class, but we weren't really doing Texan accents when we were reading Shakespeare. Oh, yeah. With that said, for those who are wondering, anything that I say here, I believe this is correct about accents and stuff, but it could be totally incorrect. You are welcome to fact check me later on, and or leave a comment on the video over on YouTube after saying you are a dummy. This is what the accent is or was back in the 17 and 1800s. I appreciate being corrected. You can say dummy too. Like, dummy is an endearing word. Call me Dumbo, though. I hate that elephant. Don't you dare. Anyways, how's the game going? Oh, guess what? There's been no notable progress in about half an hour or so.
Yeah, I expected like maybe 3-0 is going to be our best, or 4-0. I do think we might see a 3-0. Oh my goodness. And someone got another one of the 1-0s where it just was able to get one in, but just cannot get the second one.
And for those who are only listening and not watching, when we say someone, we mean the player someone3255. This is a common confusion that we have here. We're not just talking about anyone. We're talking about someone. 3255.
So we need a top player named anyone, so we could do basically the comedy routine with that, right? Somebody's on first, and
we don't
one's
have
on
to
second.
do anything funny here, okay?
There's nothing funny here.
No funny business. No, this is serious. Look, it's Graeme Souness Vector Soccer, and whoever wins this is going to be moving on to the grand finals of a tournament that they probably will one day regret joining. Will that day be today?
This is time well spent, you know?
Say what?
This is totally time well spent. This is... the thing that Game Masters have to play these games longer than the players do. I played this game for a while. So you can imagine, I
oh my gosh, someone, 3255, is just trying to get this goal. 15 seconds left, like a kick. Come on, get past the goalie. Oh, it's almost in. Yes, run and get into the goal. That is 2-0. That ties up the match. However, the way that the tiebreaker works, first off, it's if there is a tie between the point difference, then whoever got the higher score, if Okami got 3 versus 1 and someone got 2 versus 0, Okami would take the victory. In this case, though, they have both scored 2 to the computer 0, and because of that, Okami did it first. Okami would take the victory. Of course, they've got more attempts ahead of them, and when we hit time, they can finish out their final attempt that they are doing. So, you know, there is still plenty of time for one of these players to move into the lead. It's just straight up a tie right now. Sure, it was a tie half an hour after Okami got that score initially, but Okami has made no progress since then.
Yeah, getting 3 is pretty tough. It's even with the reset to try to optimize to get a real quick goal at the start. It's yeah, this is it. Like, it looks like it's bad, but it feels like it's worse than... Like, it plays worse than it looks right now, which I know is weird to say because it looks so bad.
No, I can imagine.
It doesn't control worse than this.
Yeah,
amazing.
How do you even, like, accurately kick a ball in a specific direction? You, like, with this frame rate?
I think one of the main keys that I discovered that helped, and I did mention this to them explicitly, was you can change how hard you kick the ball. If you kick it by holding down the button, or you kick it by just pressing it once, you can either do a light kick or a really big kick. And I actually had a little more success when I started to do big kicks from the center of the field.
Okay.
And then that set up a combination a little better than it normally would.
Okay, someone 3255, the computer just got a corner kick. The computer totally knocked it out, but still got the corner kick for some reason. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of scheme happening between the the refs. These rectangles bribe the refs. Probably offered them like crackers or something. It's Eurovision all over again? Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy. Oh, yeah, you know, like, if you go to the Eurovision Reddit, like, everybody's up in arms about, like, 5 different things. And there's always something where somebody cheated or whatever, so, you know. It's...
Oh, no, they cheated by singing a song. How terrible.
Well, by manipulating votes and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I gotcha.
The main thing is that there's 2 components to Eurovision, right? There's the judge vote, and there's also the player vote. I mean, the audience vote. And the audience can actually vote multiple times even. They are, I think it's 20 times one person can vote, and each vote costs money. So, like, you can imagine that's all a recipe for, like, getting some weird stuff happening with audience votes. So,
voting with money, how could that ever possibly go wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like big. I mean, it's clearly just kind of transaction charge type thing. But still, like, when you get down to it, yeah, there's been some accusations being thrown back and forth. So, yeah. Hey, we're talking about soccer, so let's just stick with that here. So,
have you ever played soccer?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I did, you know, just school soccer. I didn't like do like on a team, which I did do as a team, but it was like I was 6 or something, so that one doesn't count.
Yeah. That counts for me. Come on, you were totally into soccer when you were young. The same as me. I had to play in a kids team. I was afraid of the ball. I ran away from it.
Oh no, I like the ball. They actually called me elbow.
It hurts.
Now I played basically defense usually. I would be near the goalie. I wouldn't be the goalie, and I usually would just go kamikaze on it, and yeah, it was. Well, I wasn't really keen on having the ball hit my head, but that wasn't really that's not a defender move as much as it is, and some, you know, one of the forwards might do that a little more often because they're trying to hit the ball in the net in a wild way. I was never trying to do shots on goal, so. It's
weird that, like, my team when I was young, they're like, we're not doing goalies for you. We're just going to have you have 2 defenders. And it was a little bit weird, but I was one of the people assigned to be a defender for the goal. And so I just sit by the goal until somebody came running with the ball, and then I get scared. That was my experience with soccer. Okay, And yeah,
Okay.
being in charge of defending a goal when you can't use your hands is a lot more intimidating. When you're like a child who's afraid of getting hit in the face with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get hit in the face. I didn't want to get hit anywhere. I was afraid.
I get you.
Yeah. Oh, someone just got a goal. Okami also has a goal. Let's see. That was only about 30 seconds into that match. Someone could potentially get a couple more. Okami getting goal number 2 in this. Oh, things are steaming up. Okay, someone 325 really needs to get another goal here. But it's going to be halftime in just about 3 to 15 seconds. And there we go. I'm so glad I don't have to play this.
Oh, it was an experience. I mean, yeah, no. So for kind of behind the scenes, all right. So not only do game masters we have to play a game like this, we have to play more than one game like this because, especially at this caliber of player, they might know the game.
Yeah.
You might have watched some YouTuber play it, and then for memes, and then they have to actually. We have to pull out a veto. So I had to play. I actually have a backup for this, which is just as bad as this game, and I had to play it. And oh my goodness, it's yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so miserable.
It's a subtle but very important way to torture more people. By playing bad video games, the GMs, they're like, oh, we get to make other people suffer, but as it turns out, they have to play a heck of a lot more. And I dig that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think someone 3255 is going to get a new PB on this attempt, so it's really going to come down to the last game to see if anybody can break out of this 2-point difference. Now, the thing is, technically, someone 3255 could move into the lead without getting a higher point difference. How? If they managed to get 3 goals and the computer got 1, it would end up being the same score, but it would still move them into the lead. Yeah. And
now, the way they're playing,
go.
the computer's not getting any goals, which is fine. I put that rule there just to be clear about it, but it was one of those I knew in general what was going to really happen. So, and we did get the 2-0, but unfortunately, not enough time for the 3-0. So hopefully this time around, we'll see. This is the last go.
Yep.
This is what the big one for everybody.
Yeah, unless one of them restarts. And you know what?
Yeah,
I know Okami well enough that I'm watching. I bet she's going to restart right before so that she can stretch out as much time as possible. I know Okami.
Yeah, I was reading a review. Somebody actually was not even touching the controller, and the computer was unable to score. So it's not a terribly smart computer. It's
beautiful, beautiful. Okay, someone 3255 just trying to go for a goal. Unfortunately, oh no, ball's bouncing everywhere. Okay, there we go. Good pass. Okay. To the goalie. Ooh, goalie kicked it right back out. Poor little triangle man just trying to get the ball. There we go. Is there a way to switch between which character you're playing when nobody has the ball?
Nope. It does it on its own. You have no control over that.
Okay, Okami has one goal. I'm waiting for that last reset that's going to come. Because I'm relatively sure that's going to happen. I know the metagame. I know how
approaching time, I think we could see her do it. If she doesn't get one, like, right now.
Go kick.
Yeah, someone 3255 could technically benefit from it, but they also have not been resetting between matches. They've been playing the full match out, which is completely fine. It's just different strategies for different folks. Okay, Okami. Yep. What did I tell you, nerds? What did I tell you? Huh?
It's predictable.
It's a goal.
What? A goal
Nice.
in 5 seconds?
There we go. Now that's what we're talking about there.
Okay, and here we are moving on to the hour. I will now keep our timer until our last player finishes. But now they are not allowed to restart. This is it. They must keep going from where they are. And I do not think someone 3255 can move into the lead at this point. It's 10 seconds left. Got to score 3 goals. No way it's happening. Okami trying to recover this soccer ball. Very good. Can you rush the goal, though? Looks like the goalkeeper is right there. And unfortunately, usually gets a hefty kick.
That needed a little more time on the button push, and that would have actually probably gone through. But it was just kind of a quick punt as opposed to a longer one. So that's unfortunate. That could have been a goal right there, and then that would have given enough time for a third one, I think. But we're basically at the point now where I mean we know the winner is just we're waiting to see if Okami can get the 3.
Oh, the computer scored against Okami.
Oh my goodness. I think that's it. I think we're done.
Yep. I'm calling it time then, everybody, because Okami has said, that's the last of my attempt. We're done. And I agree. So I'm going to invite them to come and join voice. It was a tie between these people, and that is a lot of fun. We get to do the reveal about that in just a second. So let's see. It looks like, I believe both of them are here. Hello there, someone.
Hello.
Hello, Okami.
Oof.
Yeah, well, welcome to this game. I was totally calling you out. I was like, I bet with
Dude,
less than a minute left,
it,
Okami is going to reset and start a new attempt.
The moment I saw it was a soccer game, I'm like, bro, I'm so cooked.
Now, let me go ahead and reveal the scores. So, Okami, it looks like your best attempt was 2-0.
Uh-huh.
Someone, your best attempt was also 2-0.
Oh my god, don't do this to us,
It's
bro.
a straight up tie. So the timestamps here, someone 3255 managed to get that score at 48 minutes and 26 seconds, which means that Okami getting that at the 2024 mark
No way.
puts Okami into the victory here, sealing your spot in the grand finals. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want it. I was playing this game.
Honestly, we all lost. I lost. Everybody lost. But You know, Okami, despite that, you're going to play in the grand finals.
Great.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about this game, because it was a nightmare to watch, but apparently it's worse to play.
Yeah, so,
Really?
because of how slow the game runs, it's kind of the same problem as hard driving, although I'd say hard driving runs a little bit worse. Where it's moving in seconds per frame, so it's a little hard to make precision decisions.
Okay. Yeah, true. What were you going to say, someone?
It was like kind of playable? Question mark.
Really? Okay.
And I feel like this could be fun if you play multiplayer with a friend for like 20 minutes.
Someone,
Yeah.
did you find the same trick that I did? Well, trick in quotations.
Probably not. I just like moved all my players in the front and hope for
One
the
of
best.
my strategies that I found early on is, and it's hard to set up because of the way the game is, but if you get up to the goal, get ready for your kick, and do a lob shot over the goalie, you can make the ball go inconsistently. Now, lining up that shot is
Okay.
another story, but that's the strategy I was using when the first time I got 2 points in a match.
Yeah, I never figured out how to do like a lob shot. I was doing
You
like the
just-
classic
it's
soccer
a
game thing.
It's a neutral button, so you just don't press a direction, you'll lob it.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I was doing the standard soccer game thing of trying to like pass it to somebody else and then shoot, but
Yeah.
the AI is not good in this game.
Mario Strikers, this is not.
quite true. Now, so this came out in 91 for the Amiga. I do have to ask, is there anything redeemable about this game at all?
Honestly, I'm always fascinated by 3D graphics in an Amiga game. You know, I was also fascinated by, RoboCop 3 on Amiga, the FPS.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm fascinated by it in that sense. Usually when I think of an Amiga game, I usually think of something a little more 2D.
Yeah.
So seeing a 3D one is always very interesting to me.
It definitely felt experimental. I don't know of any other game that looks or plays like this, for good reason. But, like, you know, it really minimized the graphics in order to try to have a frame rate, and probably wasn't super successful. But what can you say? It was a small team working on a very obscure, or at least probably not a very lucrative license. So they did what they could. And it's a game. It's quote-unquote
Definitely.
playable. It quote-unquote functions. I can say at least that. And, you know, the game didn't crash a single time during the stream, which is not what we can say about every Amiga game out there.
Yeah. By the end of the game, I was also very often resetting my runs because I wanted to get a run where, like, I get a goal in the first, 10 seconds of the game or something like that, so that way I don't have to work as hard for the next 2 points, because, you know, once you get 2 points, the next step is getting 3 points in a game, and that seems impossible.
Yeah, or at least extremely difficult in that time limit. Although, Okami, you probably had the right approach with your last attempt because you got a goal in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was surprised by that, and then my opponent scored me like,
Yeah,
probably just gonna not worry about taking the rest of this round at that point. I mean, I guess it would have been technical progress even if it was 3-1 for me. That would have still been technical progress.
Yeah. But still, like, a great job here. The match went a lot faster than I expected. It was enjoyable despite how nightmarish this game was to watch. And Okami, you will be going on to the grand finals to try to take the title of Kusogrand8 champion, get the $500, get the Steam games, everything that goes with it. Someone, you do have plenty of prizes, though, so make sure you hit me up so I can get those over to you. Otherwise, do you happen to have any last words that you'd like on your, I almost said on your goal, but your gravestone?
No.
Just write the last words on the soccer ball.
Wilson. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave a soccer ball on your grave.
Yeah, you can put whatever you
We'll
want.
put a circle there. It'll represent a soccer ball.
First you draw a circle, and then you dot the soccer ball.
Yeah, so we are going to rate RPG Limit Break in just a minute or so. Before that, though, do you have anything that you'd like to plug? Or if not, any games that you're playing that everybody should play?
I don't know. I did start playing Expedition 33.
Yeah!
Oh, I've been playing that as well.
So good. In my opinion.
Yeah, not too far into it yet, but it's good so far.
Yeah, and I need to get back into it. Unfortunately, friends convinced me to play some modded Minecraft, and let me tell you, they put in 44 mods, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Actually,
Yeah.
it's my husband's friends, and so I wanted to join and play with them. So yeah, I've been sucked into that. But yeah, Expedition 33, love it so far. What about you, Okami? Anything you'd like to plug?
I run Retro Book Club every week. You can come join. We give out fascinating games. Last week, it was my first time getting to play Valkyrie no Densetsu, aka The Legend of Valkyrie. Game I've
Okay.
seen before, but was kind of curious about. Other assorted good games, Wario Land 3, Mario Power Tennis, Donkey Kong 64, and a ROM hack of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door called Paper Mario Tower Trials, which basically puts the game in a roguelike setting.
Ooh, oh, that sounds cool.
Otherwise, I'm going through all the RGG games because I have lost control of my life. And I'm getting close to the end of cherrying every game in UFO 50. I've got, I think, 6 games left to go.
Sweet. Well, good luck getting the cherries. I know that that's a lot of work, and yeah, you've already put in a lot of work. Great.
I've gotten the longest ones done at this point. I went through the big RPG. So they're all shorter games from this point on.
Sweet. Well, good luck with that. Omega Number, what about you? Do you have anything that you'd like to plug before we take off?
I guess I finished. So I've been playing every single adventure game in chronological order and writing about them. I finished 1982 finally. It took 14 years, but I finished 1982.
Yeah.
So now 1983. Well, actually, not quite. I had to go back because there was a game that got uploaded like later that I missed. So I'm playing a 1981 one. But basically, I'm on 1983 now. So yeah.
Sweet. Well, good,
Yes.
good. And where can people find out about that? Or do you write publicly?
Yeah, so it's bluerenga.blog. I can drop it in the chat.
Sure.
Yeah, so Renga and Blue.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and share that. Well, good luck on continuing that. Everybody, I will be playing an Arcade Pit later tonight. I believe it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to my brain at trying to remember. So 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be over there. Otherwise, we will have more Kusogrand8 Deathmatch on Wednesday. ! Deathmatch. If you want to go and play, we need people to sign up for this Wednesday, honestly. We have nobody, so please sign up, because I would love to have other people do one-time or one-off matches with us on Wednesdays. So let's go raid RPG Limit Break, and there's really only one message that we can say, and that is goal. Go share the love of goal. You can share balls as well if you want. And otherwise, thank you, everybody. Thank you, friends. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye, Okami.
Bye.
Bye, someone.
Bye.
Bye, Omega.
Bye.
Woo!